This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Tony Caranco and your host, Wes Underwood.
It's that time again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Blondie's Woodfire Wheelhouse Food Truck and Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. Just call 417-434-5717 for Blondie's Woodfire Wheelhouse to make your reservation today for some good pizza. Or, if you're in the mood for some fresh Cajun, head on over to Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin, across from Moe's on Main Street. Wes Underwood, alongside Tony tonight. Tristan's out with some family tonight, so hopefully that's going well. And, well, let's go ahead and get to it. First up, we'll talk NASCAR and Dale Jr., who will be entering the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which I found his quote very interesting, humble, and pretty cool at the same time, but that is for him. Once he realized he wasn't going to match his dad's statistics on paper, to me, my dad was this really important part of the puzzle, and he was important because of his success, but also because of the reaction to whatever he did. Earnhardt told that to the AP this week, and that's what being an asset to the sport is, and this guy is valuable. I wanted to have the same value. He will join his father tonight alongside Red Farmer and Mike Stefanik. This induction was delayed due to the pandemic, so congrats to him and the other guys as well. I think it's very deserving. Tony, don't you agree on that? I mean, Dale Jr., it's only fitting. I mean, Dad got to go. He had to watch all that. He has a hard career to go after, especially since his dad was, like, the man. And then he comes in, and then people get mad at him because he's not as great as his dad, but then he keeps his composure and goes through all that adversity and wins a few races here and there, but never the big cup. But
you can only be so good at turning left. So it's I think he's deserving, I'm sure.
I'm very glad he's getting it. I really liked watching him as a kid. He was fun to watch, and like I said, his composure was phenomenal through all the adversity. And I mean, you see your dad die. Like, what gives you the motivation to get back out on that track after that? And it's crazy that he had to go through all that, but it's awesome how he came out on top of it. He's very positive, and he was really good for the racing community. So congrats to him, and good luck this weekend. That'll take action tonight, so look out for that. Next up, we head to the NFL, and lots to talk about. The show will pretty much mainly stay in the NFL yet again this week. I mean, it's playoff time, so. But with that, we'll start with, is the Patriots dynasty over? Mac Jones showed promise when they won 7 in a row at the beginning of the season. They were atop the AFC and then went 1-3 in the last 4, ultimately losing in the playoffs. That is the ugliest playoff loss, I think, since the 1985 game against the Bears, where they lost 46-10 in the Super Bowl. But really, in the Belichick era, for sure. Is this a sign of things to come? Are they done? Is Belichick getting ready to head out the door?
No. Well, I mean, I don't know if he's about to head out the door. Do I think it's over? No, as long as he stays there.
Yeah.
I think Mac Jones is...
What if they lose McDaniels? There's rumor of him going to be a head coach somewhere.
No, I mean, still, it's Belichick. I think Belichick is really who makes the team.
Okay.
It was for the longest time it was Brady and Belichick, and he knows how to bring a quarterback and make them good. In fact, I thought last year if Cam Newton would have stayed healthy, I think they could have made a better run for...
There's no doubt. That Chiefs game that they played where he went out with COVID, I think if Cam would have been 100%, that would have changed the whole momentum of the team.
Yeah. Cam Newton, I like Cam Newton as a player, and I think he would have done wonders for the Patriots.
His energy this year with the Panthers, I thought, was phenomenal. He returned as if he didn't even get let go.
Yeah. And I really hope he gets to turn it on at the Panthers. But going back to the Patriots, I don't think it's over. I think obviously there's some growing pains, and this is a growing year, and they made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's, it speaks volumes on, Mac Jones' ability.
It does.
It's a longer season than it is in college, so to stay healthy, stay focused longer, to peak at the right time.
So are the Patriots the team to beat, or is it still the Bills for the next few years?
Man, on the AFC side, I think there's three teams: the Chiefs, the Bills, and I think the Patriots will still.
Titans? Yeah.
Maybe, man, but how long is Derrick Henry's going to be good for? Tannehill's not bad.
He's starting to wear down. He is.
Yeah, this year he was on pace to
Oh yeah,
do some good stuff.
Oh, we all know that.
For a while he still led the league in rushing yards weeks after he got injured.
Yeah. I think like 3 or 4. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think we'll get a lot of those questions answered this weekend.
Yeah.
If Henry comes back, which he is supposed to, as far as I know.
He says he's a go Saturday, so
which I'm excited to see, but who knows? I don't think the Patriots are done unless Bill Belichick retires, which he could because he's had such a good career.
All right, duly noted. I'll agree for now. Give me another season, come back, and we'll talk about this again next year. See where they're at. As of now, I'll agree with that.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, I know. That was sad, actually.
They proved me wrong.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
I think our very first podcast, you and I together, we talked about the Cowboys, whether they make the playoffs or not, and I said no, and they proved me wrong. They
scared me for a little bit.
They had a decent season. I think they're really. I don't even want to say immature, but maybe just inconsistent.
The ref didn't help, I will agree. You can't blame it all on the refs. I'm a Chiefs fan, we do it too. But to stand there and tell him to chill out, like you could hear him.
Yeah.
Chill out, man. And then with 1 second left, he backs away and then the ball's high. I think it should have been fine on that.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Yeah.
I think that should have been okay.
They should have been given.
They got dirtied a little bit. Just a little bit.
I honestly, I didn't watch the end of it. I watched most of it. I don't know what I had to do. Like the last quarter and a half, I didn't end up not finishing it. I was actually getting a new phone. So I couldn't watch it.
I can attest to this. I text him and he said he got a new phone. So, but next up in the NFL, we'll go ahead and continue to talk NFL playoffs now that wild card is over. And based off of last week's games, what are your early Super Bowl predictions here? A couple more weeks to go. In the NFC, I'm going to go ahead and say I like the 49ers. They really surprised me, especially with all the adversity they've had. But Deebo Samuel, he's the deal, man. He's the real deal. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams here. Stafford looked determined, and the dude's hungry for a Super Bowl. They looked good. I'm liking them. And then the AFC, I'm going to have to go Chiefs or Titans. I'm going to have to stick with the top dogs. I have to watch more play this week. I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to the game, thankfully, and luckily someone gave me some tickets and gifted them to me. Very appreciative of that. It's awesome to go to 2 in a row. I haven't done that since I was a season ticket holder, so I'm very excited for this game. But anyway, Bills look beatable, so that's why I say Titans or Chiefs, and the Bengals look beatable. That's why I say Titans and the Chiefs, and the Bills look decent. But let's see this week unfold, and we'll get to the end of it here and just enjoy some good football. But who do you have, Tristan? Anything yet?
Well, my name is Tony.
Who you got, Tony? Who you got, Tony? Anybody yet?
I think it'll be the Bucks in the NFC. As much as I think I would. Man, there's the 3 teams on that side. Green Bay.
I know. It's tough.
And they have a healthy team.
Yeah.
A very healthy team.
Aaron Rodgers is COVID immune right now, so.
Yeah. And Tom Brady, it's basically just Tom Brady for the most part. There's a little bit of injuries.
Not human, right?
Not human. And then the Rams. But I'm for some reason I'm still gonna go with the Bucks.
So Bucks over the Rams, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also on the AFC, man, I think the Bills are going to make it this year. I think they'll beat the Chiefs.
We'll see. We'll
at
see.
Home.
I mean, last year's game was close, and they could have that chip on their shoulders.
How about we make a bet on the air real quick? Just a cheap bet.
What's on the air? Huh? What? Okay. I'll listen.
Let's do some what you call it? Crack and Cajun.
Okay.
If the Bills win, you owe me some Crack and Cajun. If the Chiefs win, I owe you some Crack and Cajun.
Okay. All right.
We go split some shrimp or something.
Crack and Cajun, proud sponsor of the Sports Timeout podcast too, by the way. So
last week I said I was going to go the next day, and I did.
We could do the show there.
We could.
So
yeah.
that's a win-win either way there. So, all right, okay, sounds good. I can do that. Share some shrimp maybe or something like that too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's a big bag of shrimp. So anyway, off topic. Next up, we'll go ahead and talk the Chiefs and Tyrann Mathieu. He wins the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Very deserving. This news comes in light of everything going on with the Willie Gay distraction, in which he was arrested for a misdemeanor as he aggressed on a vacuum, a door, a cell phone screen protector, a humidifier, and a wall. I mean, that's not really news. And atop all this, then the Chiefs go out and sign a guy who got in trouble with the Raiders for posting an odd video on social media with death threats and guns in the background. So it's just been a fun week for the Chiefs story-wise. Maybe they're trying to take all the distraction off Mahomes so he can focus. I don't know. Good, maybe a good tactic. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe the Chiefs are the new Raiders.
I mean, I wouldn't go quite that far. I mean, they've got Al Davis, and Mark Davis, who's succeeded Al Davis. So I don't know. Those guys, as soon as they sell the team, I think they'll win again. But I don't think they're going to win the way that they do things. They get great players. I'll agree.
Yeah.
They have some phenomenal guys. But with all the stuff that happens on and off the field, with scissors in the middle of the field during a play and jumping off sides to go, like 2 teams they did that against. They had medical scissors, went off sides to try and stop the game. Refs didn't care, so they just chucked the scissors to the sideline. But that aside, congratulations to Tyrann Mathieu. Big accomplishment for him from where he's come from. His foundation that he has is great. It's huge in the KC community. Glad he won. Kelsey got snubbed last year, that's all I'll say. But, yeah. And then, lastly, let's go ahead and talk Bruce Arians and his fine of $50,000. Why is he not being suspended or fired? I mean, is this not the guy who a couple weeks ago fired one of his players for not playing and arguing with him? Didn't a few more weeks ago before that, we saw Urban Meyer get fired over an alleged kicking of his kicker in the head? Yes, other things were involved. But in that, I mean, there's a whole other story there. But what's worse about Bruce is we all saw it on TV. In light of how players are treated, though, in the league, for their actions like this, coaches should be held on the same standards, if not more than the players. I mean, these guys are the ones shaping the minds of other players along with their players, and even our own children, as they watch the games at home. I mean, would you like to see your coach or potential future employer punch someone in the face because they're not doing something that you like and you'll get penalized for it? I'd rather take the penalty than the fine. But, I mean, he kind of assaulted the guy on the field, even though he had a helmet on. But based on his actions in the wild card game, it's not acceptable. His excuse was pretty lame. I mean, just trying to go out there and get my guy to not get in trouble and get a flag. And then he's going to attest it and take it and appeal and whatnot. But he should be suspended at least 2 games, maybe even the playoffs. I mean, do you agree here? What should happen?
I disagree.
Okay.
But because I come from a time where, I mean, that's getting off pretty lightly. You know?
Yeah.
I played football at Webb, and I played at Southern. I got a lot of butt chewings, and I mean, there was times where I got smacked on the head, and it doesn't hurt. You know, if you've had a helmet on, if you've gotten hit before, it doesn't hurt. He's just trying to fire him up. He's trying to, you know, it's a coaching, you know, time to coach. You know, some people don't react to that very well. Some people do. You know,
but if you're a player, you get ejected. If you're a player, you get suspended too, possibly, depending on how bad it was.
Well, but we've seen, like, you know, all year long, you know, at least once a week, you know, we see people get into it with each other, and they hit each other, they push each other, and they smack each other, like, after the play. We see extracurricular stuff all the time. And no one really gets into trouble unless they actually, you know, unless it actually escalates more and more and more. And then they do get in trouble for that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just, you know, him just trying to, I guess, coach. And that, to me, that's not a big deal. I've taken my butt chewings before, and you know, some people take it better than others.
I disagree, but I mean, good points there. Good points. I feel like he has a higher standard since he's a national coach and on television. I mean, a high school coach, it's a bit different. I mean, they got a really, really stressful week. Coaches in the NFL, yeah, they got a stressful week, but they have the money to pay for the counselors, and they have the money to go to do all that kind of stuff and get massages and just get that stress taken out.
The Patriots, yep.
I mean, hey, Mr. Kraft, you know, you did it. Don't just own up to it. That's a whole other story too. He should be done. He shouldn't.
He was just trying to celebrate the fact that they won the Super Bowl.
I mean, Tom Brady did things differently too. I mean, so.
Man, I mean, yeah, it's just a fact that my dad was probably, you know, the worst one out of all of them. Like, he was, you know, I'm not saying he did a bad job. I think he did a great job at coaching me. I think he brought out a whole different person and made me a whole lot tougher. You know, sometimes you need a reminder. You need to get re-humbled, and
okay.
You know, there's a video out there of like the Colts O-line, you know, getting their butt chewed out, and the coach is smacking them, like, not like on the face, but like smacking them on the shoulder pads and stuff like that. It's very similar to that. I mean,
Urban Meyer did things like this, and he got canned.
And if that's the case, then I don't agree with it. He was at the
club like Mr. Kraft. He assaulted a player, and just like Mr. Arians did, and then maybe it's a combination that he did all of them together. I don't know.
That, and he wasn't winning games.
Well, there is that. I mean,
they're just going to, you know, at that point, I feel like they're just, you know, gravitating to something to get them out.
It could be something way different there too. Yeah,
politics.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and head into the local sports update, brought to you by Jefferson's, where they have something for everyone in the family. Go join Billy and his crew this new year for some good food, and we'll start with high school boys basketball. Tonight, Joplin will be in the Bill Hansen Memorial Tournament, and it will be at Pittsburgh High School in Pittsburgh, Kansas. And then next up, Webb City will continue playing in the Frontenac Tournament tonight. They blew out Nevada yesterday, 70-29, so congrats to them. Congrats to Coach Horn and his program. Yet another win. Then we head to Monette as the Carl Junction boys will be taking on the Monette Cubs tonight at 7:30 p.m. And we head over to Carthage as they are in the 50th annual Ralph Miller Classic. They will play tonight and tomorrow. And lastly, on the boys' side, we finish with Neosho. They will head to Forsyth tonight. Game time is set for 7:30 p.m. As for the girls, Carthage is playing in the Pittsburgh Varsity Tournament this weekend. And then the Webb City Lady Cards head over to the Border Classic, also in Pittsburgh, Kansas this weekend. Lots of tournament action yet again. And for more information on these, tune in to each team's social media pages or team athletic websites for game times and locations. Those definitely fluctuate and change quite often depending on how things are going right now. So do that. Do that to get your information. And then we will now head into the 2-minute warning brought to you by Trackside Burger, now under new ownership. Go check them out today and get the Korean barbecue burger this week. It's a house patty with melted pepper jack cheese on top of a house-made slaw tossed in a sweet and spicy peanut sauce, topped slices of braised short ribs. I think that was a mistypo there, but braised short rib and drizzled with the Korean barbecue sauce sounds great.
Sounds delicious, man. You're making me hungry.
It looked really good.
I already ate dinner, but if you want to go after this,
hey man, go check it out. Trackside Burger, go check them out. And MSSU women will hit the road at Nebraska Kearney. They will play at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and the men will follow. As for Pitt State, the Lady Gorillas will head to Fort Hays State. Tip is set for 2 p.m. as well, the men to follow. Tony, you got anything else?
Yeah, so pretty soon I got somebody coming on.
Okay.
Jimmy Roach.
Yeah.
He is fighting in February. Yeah, February 26th.
All right.
Jimmy the Mack Truck Roach is his name. He is fighting against some guy named Luis Galazes.
Okay.
I probably mispronounced this guy's name. He's not going to find out, so I think I'm fine. But he's selling tickets right now.
Okay.
They range from $35 to $75, and I think it's going to be a good time. That will be in the Grove Civic Center.
Okay.
In Grove, Oklahoma.
Hopefully we can get Mr. Bad News Britain on here too pretty soon.
Hopefully. And yeah, his fight's also coming up.
I know. His is close.
On the 6th. So
yeah.
That'll be fun. And then we also have there in the Midwest Maniacs fight in March. So it's a little bit further away. But all three guys super focused. They're all going to come out with the win.
Well, can't wait to have each and every one of them on, and we're going to try to make that happen.
Of course.
So, of course, all these games and events are pending to weather in the current and fluid COVID-19 situation. And, well, the music is here, and so is the end of another episode for Tony and myself. Have a great and safe weekend, and enjoy some sports. There is lots of local action tomorrow night yet again, and tonight. So, playoff football all weekend yet again. Enjoy time with your family and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week here on the Sports Timeout Podcast.